Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Let me say this. Thanks to French Quarters Guest Apartments for being our New York City hotel. Let them be your headquarters in New York City. Go to FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next stay. FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next stay. Talking with former Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman. He's got a solo album coming out called Inferno in May. And I got a phone call for you here. I don't have a name, of course. Someone in Florida wants to show some love for Marty Friedman.
Cool.
You're on the air, whoever you are in Florida. I don't have a name.
My name is Jake, and thanks for having me on, Artie.
All right, buddy.
Marty Friedman, you are an absolute hero of mine, sir. And you both inspired me to learn guitar and have several times made me quit in awe of your amazing abilities.
It happens.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And I got to tell you, all of Rust in Peace is, up there, top 5 metal albums of all time,
Yeah.
and Hangar 18, man. That whenever I'm feeling down about my playing, I listen to that and try to play through it and feel even worse. So thanks for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
That was your first album with Megadeth, right?
True. That's right.
Rust in Peace. Probably their best album.
Definitely.
Period.
Yeah. I love according to Jake. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate
Jake. I
it.
appreciate
Do you
it.
feel that? Do you feel like that's? Is there an album that you're proudest of?
It's always the most
With
recent
that
thing
band?
I've done,
Oh, really?
Because, if something, my most proudest thing was in the past, I'd just be so depressed.
Right.
It's got to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, I'm constantly pushing to do something more impressive to myself, first of all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
something like that I want to play for people.
I see. I can see that, but like, your solo on Tornado of Souls is one that everyone points to and says like, wow, that just made me think about guitar differently. That's
You're
something.
too kind.
No, really. I mean, it was kind of like groundbreaking stuff, and so that like bringing a new way of thinking into that genre. Or just guitar, period. I mean, that's a real accomplishment.
That's all you can ask in art. He's a big fan.
I like this
I'm
guy.
saying that's all you can ask in art sometimes.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think of things like that, and it's wonderful. But at the time, it's just like the next thing that I'm doing. So if you choose to interpret it that way, then I'm just flattered. But like like anything else that I would do, or probably any musician would do, is just doing the best they can in the situation that they're in. And if something good comes out, if you interpret it that way, then that's absolutely wonderful.
You're always pushing the envelope,
pushing it,
though.
yeah.
Have you ever created something because of a deadline that you were a little disappointed in? In other words, like an album's got to get in, or the other guys in the group are like, hey, we got to come up with something here, and because of a deadline and time constraints, you are forced to get something out there that you've been less than happy with?
Never on my own projects or anything like that. Sometimes other people will be doing a project and they're in a rush.
Right.
And I'd like to spend more time on it, but I do something they're like, that's fine, let's go with that.
Okay.
I'm like, if you're happy, then that's fine. But when it comes to something that I'm putting my own name on the top of it, then like when it's done kind of thing.
And you tell a record company that, or producers, you're able to
Absolutely.
have that relationship going in.
This-
Like, look, you can't tell me. I'll tell you when it's done.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be mean about it. I mean, if you come up at the
Right.
beginning with the record company and say, look, this is when it's done, it's done. And if they embrace that from the beginning, like on Inferno, that I'm still actually working on right now.
Oh, you're still working on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's 99% done. So they like that, I like that, and we're on the same page. But like, if you're not on the same page, you could run into a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was it, a lot of the solo stuff that you were doing in Japan was like really hard to hear it
Here in America, absolutely. The titles are written in Japanese. It's released on a major label, but a Japanese major label over there.
Yeah. So is that's now changing? Is it getting easier?
A lot of the stuff that I did release in Japan got released here in America over the last 2 years as a
so
re-release.
recently.
So you can find it. A lot of my hardcore fans have like searched it up, but like who knows how to read Japanese?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
You got to expect people to do that.
But so this time I'm doing something for everybody in the whole world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you going with the new album?
I'm going to tour the whole world on this, and it's not a specific Japanese-only release, which is the first time I've done this in a long time. So that's why, I made the effort to come to America to record it, to talk about it, to do things and tour on it, because now's the time to do it. I've been there 10 years. I love what I'm doing. I could do it forever. And my manager in Japan would love me to just do it forever. But like, I got friends in America that I want to play for, Europe, South America, all that stuff. So this time I'm going to make the effort. Are
you doing new things? Have you kind of broken new ground with this album?
I think so. I think so.
And can you give us an idea of what's different? Like what you're pushing? What envelopes you're pushing here?
I hate to talk about music, you know what I mean? Playing music, listening to music is so much easier than explaining it.
Yeah, that's a good
I just
point.
think, you know, it's the best I can possibly do, and I've grown a lot, you know. It's all good.
I mean, I think people who listen to your stuff, that, you know, they would recognize, like, you take scales, you look at scales differently than most American guitarists do, you know, where they're doing, you know, like pentatonic scales.
You're talking
we
guitar
don't even know.
talk, man.
Yeah, I know. But
all the chicks are leaving, man.
Well, I mean, you're doing scales that, like, people don't even know. Like, are you inventing scales? Like, these are...
Here's the word. I don't know what scales... Scales are just for people
because you're
playing
entirely
piano.
Self-taught.
Well, not only
right?
self-taught, I just don't approach it like a piano recital type of thing. I just, like, hear music and I try to chase what I'm hearing. And it requires going outside of what normal people think about when it comes to making music.
Right.
And because of all of my experience playing in other countries and dealing with people of foreign origins and that kind of stuff, I have kind of a different education of music than your typical rock guitar player.
Yeah, exactly. And well, that's the thing. It's just so unique. It's so unique. That's what makes it amazing and different.
We should do a chat for a guitar magazine sometime. It'd be great.
I think you're going to find out how people say you're being a jerk off in Japanese really quick. We got to take a break, and we'll be back with Marty Friedman after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Marty Friedman here for Megadeth. New album called Inferno, not Megadeth, his album. We have 3 minutes left, and John just wanted to ask you about scales for the whole 3 minutes.
No.
So what's next? Like, after you do something like this, and you know you kind of have a creative output like this, how long before you get into the next thing? I mean, you sort of hang low for a while, you promote this, and like, what's the time frame? Or it just happens?
It kind of just happens because I don't know how long I'm going to be on tour for this.
Right.
Maybe a year.
Do you write on tour? Do you like
Absolutely.
The next? Yeah.
I write everything. I was writing today for the new things. I'm constantly writing, but it could be a year. It could be more. Yeah,
it's funny. I watched a documentary about the Stones recently, and they were talking about when they were touring in '72 for Exile on Main Street. Like, they went through such a creative time where they were in the hotel rooms writing the next record because they just go through a creative output. Do you think, clearly using them as an example, for 13 years they just put out, like, every 2 years, like, an amazing album, and then they hit a wall creatively. What do you think happens in life, like, to an artist? Do you think you get too rich, you get too fat with money and fame and fortune, and what do you think happens?
A lot of things can happen. I mean, you could find yourself chasing popularity,
right?
Or you could find
that's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Or you could find yourself doing the opposite of that and just saying, "I want to do this, no matter how weird it is, and no matter
get too self-indulgent."
Yeah,
right.
So there's a lot of things that could happen, and then creativity is like that's what other people have to decide for you. You know, the only person who matters is the artist himself.
Right.
If he's doing something that he likes, then that's the best he can do. You can't control whether people are going to like you or not.
Yeah.
And you have to give that up. You have to give it up and just say, I'm happy with what I just put out. If you want to come to the party, that's cool.
Right.
If you have that attitude, you can be cool. But if you're really worried about, like, numbers and really worried about, like, reaction and other people's opinions,
go crazy.
It's not the right business for you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And you'll go crazy. Yeah. Where are you living now?
I live in Tokyo.
You still live in Tokyo?
10 years.
You don't even have a place here? You just live there?
No, live in Tokyo.
Well, you seem to be in a good space,
Well, funny thing, Jeff Garland was on here before.
Right, sure.
We were talking before this. Literally, you know how it is in America? You live in America, you live America.
Absolutely.
It's like America's your world.
You can't escape.
It's the same way in Tokyo. Exactly the same. You're in Tokyo. Tokyo is your world.
Right.
So I know nothing about what's going on here. The only thing I know is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's great.
Because I have every single one on DVD. So my whole entire peak of the American culture comes from watching that on DVD.
Well, listen, I think that's probably why you're still
Amazing.
creative. It's better than Friends.
I don't know who Kim Kardashian is.
Good for you. Good for you. And that's
it
the
that
best
way.
thing ever.
Yeah.
Marty Friedman, the new album Inferno. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. I had a
Thanks,
blast.
man. Good luck with everything. Back
Thanks a lot.
after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.